this is furnace cast, so that means it's like you're all suited up in Kevlar, right? And you go to this giant furnace of molten glass. Like, if glass blowers can go into, like, usually they're smaller batches, so they're smaller crucibles. But for furnace cast, you gotta scoop it out with a giant ladle while it's molten and pour it in. And this is a sand mold. So first I turned the form on the lathe. Okay, so the shape was made, so the wedges are ash. So they're ash wood, which is kind of important, but I turned that because I turned the form out of wood, and then I made the wedges out of the wood that the form was turned from.
Oh my gosh, see, I need to hear all this.
So those are the things that I just do because I'm crazy, but that's just, but they're ash, like ash is just it's sort of a wood with ancient history. I mean, it's used for tools. It's a springy wood. So I turn the form, then you ram a mold. So the form itself is probably 300 pounds, right? Of sand that you ram up against the wooden form, and then you take that out of the mold, and then you ladle molten glass into the mold.
So the sand is what becomes the glass?
No, the sand is what holds the molten glass.
Oh.
So you're creating a cavity.
Okay.
So you create a cavity from ramming the sand. So the sand becomes sort of the structure that you have to ram it really hard.
Inside the wood.
So you have a wooden box.
Okay.
You have like a wooden box, a big wooden box, or a pit.
Okay.
A sand pit.
Right.
A wooden box. And then you put your form into the wood, and then you do what's called ramming, where you pack the sand really tightly around the wooden form.
Okay.
Super tight. Like, this is my favorite part. This is one thing is, like, this can't be on the bottom, or it shouldn't be on the bottom. This,
right.
It broke through the sand a little bit, which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is the top, but it's really clear. I'm going to put it into the box, and you just carry it out of the box. So this is some of the sand fused to the surface from the mold, and then I cut it with diamond saws, and it's polished, and you need a whole cold shop, what's called a lap.
Can I touch this?
Yeah.
People might want to touch it.
That's fine.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So then you pour the molten glass into the sand mold that's in this shape now.
In the box.
Right.
So now there's an empty cavity. That's that shape.
Right.
And that's an empty cavity. And then you have to fill it, and then you fill it, and you fill it with ladles. Took probably 4 ladles of, like, while you're wearing.
Right.
You look, like have you seen the foundry stuff, like people doing iron pours or?
Yeah.
It's the same gear. And then because I ran the foundry at Cal State Long Beach before, then one of my grad students is now teaching there because of Sophia. It's just a really physical class too, but I still work there. So it's the same gear, but it's molten glass. And then you have to have it cool, which is called annealing, really slowly to release any kind of like strain. And
okay, so you get 4 ladles of molten glass in there, and then how long is that? It just like you start cooling it right away?
Yeah, it starts cooling right away.
Okay.
So you
I don't know where I got that 2 weeks in the kiln idea. That must have been.
It is going into a kiln.
Yeah. Continue. Okay.
Then when it's firm enough,
okay, right,
and cool enough, you start digging around.
How long does that take until it gets firm?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
And you're flaring it with torches. Like,
Okay.
So the top gets cooler faster than the bottom.
Got it.
So you warm the top.
Okay.
While the bottom, waiting for the bottom of the piece to catch up. And then you dig it out of the sand.
Because otherwise will it crack or just be messed up? Okay, gotcha.
And then you dig it out of the sand like that. And then you carry the whole clump of sand and everything into the kiln. And then that's where you leave it there. And
then it's in the kiln for?
Like a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 4
days. At like
days.
900 degrees or whatever?
It's a whole program. It's a Fibonacci sequence of ramping it down. So it's based on how many inches it is.
Oh my gosh, gotcha.
But you program it in a programmable kiln.
Wow, okay.
And then it's slowly, so there's like you reduce and then you drop and then you slowly reduce until it goes to room temperature.
Okay. And then you take it out of the kiln.
Then you take it out of the kiln. And then a week
Then
later,
like, are you like, what's gonna like? Is
What's
that like a
gonna
moment
happen?
taking it out? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
and then it doesn't look like this when you take it out.
okay. And it was clear glass to begin
Yeah.
with, right?
Yes.
Right.
But it's because it's so thick.
Right.
Like if this was a plate, it would look
Right.
clear. And what else? Okay, and then the other thing is, then you have to do what's called cold working.
Okay.
And the cold working is where this is hard because it's so heavy. I mean, there's handheld cold working tools. But I sliced that top with a diamond saw. So I sliced that off, and I sliced the bottom because not the top, but the bottom looked like this.
Right.
So you slice it, and then I had to polish it.
Okay.
So that it doesn't come out looking like this.
Right.
And then I wire brushed it. You wire brush it to like show the sort of natural.
Okay, but that's after it cools from the kiln.
Yeah, that's like usually you don't cold work something like this I didn't cold work this one probably for a month.
Okay. Wow. So, are there other people doing this?
Yeah.
Because I tried to like Google it.
Yeah.
Definitely did not find anything.
Who's the person? Who's the so many